Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper. These are green bubbles, and that's why we have today a market moving to the upside, even on the stock side there. Dow Jones, the S&P, the NASDAQ, all above my head, Russell 2K, all in the green this morning, getting a little pump. VIX calming the hell down. It's at 23 points right now. I told you guys that 20-point mark, that is the threshold of just crazy volatility. It is starting to settle down. We are getting a little pump today, but I got to point out, guys, that we are coming in and getting another check of resistance right here on the 200-day simple moving average. We've been watching this closely. We're going to be breaking this down. We got Michigan consumer sentiment that just came in. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be talking about what key levels you need to see Bitcoin make it to and hold in order to give us another rally to the upside. I do think we have the potential for it. Let's talk about what that looks like and what we need right here today on the Morning Market Report. Let's get it. Class is in session. Hey, what's up, everybody? We see you. We see you all over there, but you guys are already seeing the TradeFly. Let's go ahead and bring him up. We got TradeFly in the house with us. We got OC guy in the house with us today, and we are excited to have such an honored content creator from another YouTube channel on here today. What's up, TradeFly? How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm good. I appreciate you having me on. But you know, this is family. This is where it all started. This is
Absolutely.
how we got going here. So, yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Like I said yesterday, this is not a goodbye by any means. I plan to be fully still involved with the Piper Academy. So yeah, man, let's get it going. I'm excited. I got my G's back.
I love it. I love it. OC, how you feeling today, man? Little bit of a market pump. Are you cautiously optimistic, or are you a full bull? Where are you at today?
I just shot it twice because you guys called it an area that I was also looking at, and you were saying, hey, we should be taking a trade live, and I was, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it. 1 minute mark, and I'm already twice into a short, up and down all around. And it's not much. I mean, just $100 just in the last like 3 to 5 minutes, but still doing pretty good.
Awesome. I'm glad I did not take TradeFly's emoji away last night, because he's still here. He's like, I had to put it there next to your camera image too. Let's give a shout out to who we got in the chat right now, man. Actually, no, TradeFly. Give a shout out to the chat, bro. This is your thing. What you got for us?
Let's get it going. Sorry if I missed you because I'm just kind of tuning in. So I got the live chat going. I got Ninja Glock in the house. Alexandra G, the best mod around. You know it. Roman Brave, how are you doing? Trade Intuition Joe, he's on this channel. Check him out. And he has his own channel as well. He's doing good things. He's a beast on the charts. Username, my dude. You know, he's always talking that smack, but I love him. Love you long time, bro. Donato Cabrera, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you in the chat as well. CJ Taylor, how you doing? Scrolling Wix wife fine 89. Of course, she's another one of the mods in the house. Love you as well. Good to see you. CVO Trading, that dude's a beast on the charts. Check him out as well. If you like harmonics and you like patterns, my man is crushing it. He is a smart dude. Love him. He is definitely
huge shout out to CVO, man.
Yeah, he's becoming one of the fam, no doubt. Uncle Jesse, what is up? Jesse Galoot, what is the Uncle about? You're gonna have to tell me about that, man. Good to see you in the chat, brother.
Uncle Jesse, Full House.
Oh wow, that's a reference for him though, because he's not in the States, so that's a good pull. I like it. I
always called him Uncle Jesse because of that, and so he made it his name permanently, man.
I got you. All right, Dave Digital, my dude, what is up to you, brother? Good to see you. And then, of course, so what does the LOS stand for on crypto? LOS on crypto. You're going to have to tell me. Tell me what the LOS stands for, because I always wanted to say it, but I'm not really sure. So I just say, like, loss, and it's probably completely wrong. All right.
Yeah, in the military, we know LOS is line of sight. So
I know. Things in my head, I know it's not right, so it always makes me freeze. So please let me know what that says in the chat, and I will give you an appropriate shout out. Other than that, I think I hit everybody. Love y'all long time. Let's get it going.
Let's go. All right, guys, I want to jump over. What's that?
I got your solution, TradeFly. So LOS, it's just like altcoin, just like alumni. So whenever you read something that you don't understand on crypto, it's just an altcoin. Go search it up.
Yeah. He just dropped it. He said last one standing. Last one standing.
Nice.
I like
Oh,
I
that.
like it. That's actually pretty cool, man. I like that. I like that. Let's get into the news. Cause we got some Michigan consumer sentiment just came in, actually coming in pretty low, below the forecast, and I think that might be why we're seeing a little bit of the pullback right now. So let's go jump into the news and get this out of the way, and then we'll come back, get into some charts. I've got the trade chart up today. I'm just going to give you guys a warning. Yesterday, OC guy was a degen on a 1 minute chart trading Bitcoin up and down and up and down and all around. So I can't be outdone by him. So let's go check out the news and we'll be back and do that. All right, guys, taking a look at the news here. Let me adjust that. I see a little white line. There we go. Taking a look here at the risk indicators, guys. Total market cap right now on the market is 2.72 trillion. Yesterday was at 2.666, so up just slightly there. The trend line is coming in at about $3.57 trillion, which means all the whole crypto market right now is currently about 24% undervalued. So still a good DCA opportunities there. Current risk right now is at 48.6% on Bitcoin. It's moved up just slightly, about 0.1% there. And then looking at Bitcoin dominance right now with stables, it's at 60.77%. Without the stables, 66.45. That's lessened a little bit, but still a lot of the dominance of Bitcoin is moving right over into the world of stable coins. So that is where that is going. And then let's go check out the fear and greed index real fast, see how that's looking. Fear and greed. Let's go. Fear and greed right now, guys, coming in at 27. We are back in fear. So we get a little pump up. The fear comes in. Yesterday, we were at neutral. Today, at fear. So the markets are going haywire right now. That's why I told you, keep an eye on that volatility index, the VIX, because we're seeing some craziness there. I'm not going to go into X marks the spot yet. Let's go take a look at the price action, see how things doing. Looking at Bitcoin right now, it's at about $83,337. I actually had a setup that I was going to do on an 887 of a platinum pocket, which was just a little bit higher than this. And yeah, that platinum pocket was at 83,841. It touched it perfectly, and I missed my opportunity. It's such a sad moment, but that's okay. Let's go see 1.7% on the upside for the day, getting a slight pullback here on the hourly. Ethereum is up 1.4%. It's at 1,900, so I still think $1,200 for Ethereum is in the cards. But right now, we are getting a little pump up. We talked yesterday that I thought we would see a little rally up. There's some heat map areas, and I'm sure TradeFly is going to show that heat map. But there's some heat areas around 84.5, that ballpark, and around 90,000 that we need to be watching for that move up. And then that would be a prime spot to enter into a good juicy short there. XRP is up 1% at $2.32 right now. Guys, look at the market cap here. 135 billion on XRP. 228 billion on Ethereum. If you look at the distance between the percentage ratio between BNB to XRP's ratio to Ethereum, not very far off, guys. I'm going to be watching XRP closely as we go into the bull market and the bear market, because I'm sure TradeFly probably is going to show this. He talked about it last night. XRP has held up quite well in this dump. It's very possible that if Ethereum does not find a foothold to climb up higher, that we could see something come out of this run for XRP. So BNB down 0.6% today at 582. I'm watching the stream. It's looking good here on what I'm seeing there. Uncle Jesse, you might need to restart yours, bro. Or Jay Quick Smoker. It might just be on your end. Let's go take a look. Solana is up 3.6% today, $128. Cardano up 0.5%. Just got a pullback, went neutral on the hourly, 72 cents. Doge up 1.8%. Tron, Pi Network, both dropping. Pi Network, you don't need to even be in the top 20. You're a disgrace to the top 20, man. Chainlink up 7.3%. It has moved up 2 spots to number 12. It's at $14. Not 600, but it is getting a move today, down 0.5 on the hourly. Leo token down 1.3% at $9.65 at the DeFi play. That is a native token for the Leo network. It's a decentralized play. 4.4% to the downside on Stellar Lumens. Hedera, HBAR down 2.1% at 19 cents there. Avalanche up just slightly. Shiba Inu the mean play, getting all that volatility to move it up 3.3%. SUI is up 0.4, not much there at all on that one. Toncoin and Litecoin rounding out the top two, just up slightly on the daily, down on the hourly. So look here at the NASDAQ right now, the Dow Jones, the S&P. Let's give these a refresh so I can make sure that I got the most current data. There we go. Dow Jones is up about 0.7%. The S&P up 1.1% after one of the worst weeks it's had in a long time. Matter of fact, it entered correction territory, textbook correction territory on Wall Street. It has hit that. So today might be just a little Friday rally. I think that it's not going to be very long-lived because nothing has changed fundamentally when we take a look at the tariff threats and all of that. So, plus, I do think job numbers and GDP that's coming up for quarter one are going to be devastating for the investor side. So, risk off I think, is going to return quite quickly. NASDAQ is up 1.45%. The Russell 2K, small caps, up 1.62%. And the VIX, like I said, getting a little settled down there, coming back closer to that 20. Guys, take a look at the bonds. I've been talking about the 10-year Treasury bond for a while now. It is up 0.03, so not a whole lot, but it is at 4.312%. I am thinking that we are going to need to see the 10-year Treasury yield come down, or we are going to see a continuation of the tariff talks and stuff. I got a theory about that. I want to have that conversation with the gang here, see what they think about my theory on it. But if this continues up, I think the likelihood of a recession is even higher. That because we need to refinance all of the debt, and we're not going to do it at high rates. So government might do some manipulation to get the markets to pull back and cause that scare to get that going. Guys, gold. Right now, it's just below it, but gold broke $3,000 yesterday, overnight, last night in the evening time, and gold is continuing to pump right now. It is up 7 points at 0.23% right there on the markets. Oil is sitting steady around the $60 to $65 range. We need to keep that above 60, or that is another recessionary indicator. That is what I got there. Let's go talk about this here, Michigan consumer sentiment, guys. It came in, it was at 64.7%. Consensus was that it would be 63.1, forecast is 63.2. We came in well below at 57.9. I do believe that is why we're starting to see a little bit of a pullback in the market. The University of Michigan consumer sentiment for the U.S. plunged to 57.9 in March 2025, the lowest since November 2022, from 64.7 in February, and well below the forecast of 63.1. So this is the third sentiment decline for a third straight month, with many consumers citing a high level of uncertainty around policy and other economic factors. So let's jump back over here and talk about that, because that's part of my theory. I really do think that, because every day we hear tariff this, tariff that, rebounds, recalls, retaliations. It's just over and over and over again. There's no clear line of sight on what tariffs are going to look like from anyone, what's coming back at us, what we're pushing out to other countries. I have a theory that the reason for that is so that no one gets any certainty at all and continues to stay fearful and pull back to contract the economy, so that the government can get the rates for refinancing the debt at a lower rate. I think that they are whipsawing this back and forth to create a moving target for the market investors. Just my opinion, would not surprise me at all, but I do know this: they've got to bring the rates down, because we either have to pay it, it matures, can't do that, or we have to refinance, and we're already maxed out on what we're paying for interest. So they've got to get lower interest rates in order to refinance the federal debt right now. So in order to do that, they've got to scare markets, and they have to bring down the desire to buy, the desire to spend, the demand levels. Everything needs to contract. And on top of the contracting GDP that we're probably going to have a quarter one, right now it's estimated to be in that negative 2% ballpark. I would say that the only direction that they can head is to bring it even more down, get those rates lower. TradeFly, your thoughts on why we have no clear picture of what anything looks like in policy? Is it purposefully done right now to bring that sentiment level to just bare bones bottom, where people just go, I'm just going to hold cash, and bring this economy shrinking down? What's your thoughts?
I think that is a valid take, a valid analysis. It does make sense from an outside the box perspective, no doubt about it. But I would say what I've kind of been hanging my hat on is that it's leverage. It's business 101. And he is using these crazy tariffs, these high or, wild policies essentially to begin negotiations. And you can see it, like, it's working. People are folding under the pressure every time he's gone hard in the paint. He went after Mexico. What did they do? They put people on the border. He went after Canada. What did they do? They put people on the border. He's using this as a means to achieve different pieces of policy that he wanted to implement from the get-go. So it is not just about the tariffs. It is not just about the money, right? This is only, I'd say, a side piece to the equation. And so I think there's just a lot to it. Like, I don't even know if the whole tax thing will come to fruition that he's talking about. Honestly,
no federal tax.
Yeah, mind blown if that really happens. But I think he's been very, very successful at translating business into politics. But this is also the reason a lot of people don't like him, right? Because he comes in very heavy-handed.
Yep.
He will trim the fat. He will be very abrasive, and he will be very aggressive in the way that he tries to achieve his goals and his agenda. And I really think that is the crux of like why he is using these tariffs. It's leverage in my mind. It's solely for leverage.
Yeah, I can see that, but I also think that it is having the desired effect of what he wants to see on the markets. Because if people are bullish to buy companies, buy stocks, buy this equity, this risk asset, that risk asset, it kind of gives an indication to people that the economy is strong. People don't buy risk assets when they think that the economy is going to be going down. They only do that when they think it's going to be going up, and I think that's like his canary in the mines. Like, hey, are they buying this to get these rates lower, or are they not? And so as long as he sees the continuing sell-off, he'll continue on this path. It's going to be interesting to see if we get a big rally anywhere in here, whether it be a suckers rally or not, what he will do to change his narrative or adjust the narrative. What you got?
I've got one counterpoint for you, and that is he is investing currently in risk-on assets. Why would he do that if he was trying to drive down the market? Why wouldn't he wait, knowing that he has the insider knowledge to invest in those assets when the market,
DCA?
Yeah, that's us. That's retail, right? That's the approach that we take, but he has insider knowledge. That is not the approach they take. The case in point is you can look at all the congressmen when they invest and how they do it, and they buy essentially the bottom, or they buy the news when they know that that price is going to go up based on something that is about to hit the public's knowledge. So why wouldn't he do the same thing? I think that I would assume that he would want to make money. He's a businessman.
He can't, though. The U.S. government flat out cannot refinance at the current rates. No, we don't have the money coming in.
I'm not talking about the U.S. government. I'm talking about him as an individual, as a person.
Yeah. But he right
investing in risk.
Well, he's not. He's not. His company that he can't be tied to because he's the president right now is. So his son's running that company. Obviously he can pick up a phone and call. Obviously, he can pick up a phone and call, but right now, Trump is not concerned about world finance. He's concerned about refinancing. Look, he does not want the Democrats to come in right after him and be able to go, look how he left it in shambles. He knows that his goal, I believe, is to get JD Vance or enter name to be the next president after his term and continue on his vision. And he cannot do that if we're paying out more in interest than what we bring in GDP due to refinancing the rates at such a high rate. He's got to bring the rates down. The only way to do that quickly before we are due to refinance is to cause economic shakeout. So that's just my opinion.
Valid point. Like, I don't know. There's always different ways to look at things. OC's over
Army and
there
the
like
Marines are like oil and water. We don't mix. And OC's just sitting over there like Mexico going out, not getting involved in that one.
he's drinking his
Let's
margaritas. I'm eating my
You guys
crowns.
figure it out.
I'm getting into let's get into some charts because that's the one place that you and I usually do agree is looking at these levels of resistance. So I'm gonna kick it over to you first, man. You're the guest today, TradeFly. Let's kick it over to you and see what you're seeing. You got that heat map ready? I see it there. Yes, you do. Let's go.
I do. So one of the things I like to read out to the public now, it's just fun to do because it's cool to see, a lot of money change hands. There was a 22.37 million just transferred from an unknown wallet to Kraken. All right. So if you guys know if they're moving big money to the exchange, it is a likelihood that they are probably going to sell it or purchase a different asset. So heat map. Let's go ahead and look at that. All right. So you got the hot spot on the map right now, just over where you see resistance. Okay. So that is currently sitting at 84,750, really starting at about 84.5 is where you see the liquidity starting. I would not be surprised to see a wick up there to at least grab that piece of the liquidity. However, understanding that we did get to an area of resistance in conjunction with data that just came out, could have an impact that may not actually support driving the price up. So we'll see, right? Because economics and everything in the news has a vote sometimes. But where's the real hot spot on the map? Unfortunately, the hot spot on the map on the 3-day right now is about 79K. Okay, so keep it in the back of your mind. I know. I mean, there's definitely some places on the chart that would drive it down there, but that being said, let's hope for a rebound. Let's hope we leave that liquidity behind, but just know it is there. I want to put that on your radar so that that is the hottest spot on the map right now. But right now, the trend is not in that direction. So really, you got to wait for a reversal in trend before you start getting concerned about that liquidity. At this point, we just annotate it, right? We just know it's there. All right, so looking at the price action, we were talking about this pre-show. I was like, man, I should take a short, and yep, I should have taken the short. So one of the things that I've kind of liked doing here as of late is you get these nice uptrends, right? Look at how price action very consistently just driving up this trend line. Then you hit an area of resistance. All right. So you have that area of resistance, gets a little squeeze, breaks out of that trend line. Look at this, man. So we always talk about the OC retest. Well, look, we got it right there. OC retest and down. That is where I should have entered the short. Unfortunately, just didn't take it. We're kind of clowning around, setting up the show. It happens. But it's always good to go back and look. Like if you're seeing a pattern that kind of has been working for you as of late, no harm going back, revisiting it, and taking a mental note to be like, hey, you know what? This played out again. And if you have a journal, write it down. Write it down. Let yourself know, hey, like I missed an opportunity here. The setup that I saw yesterday that I played for a long played out for a short. And, just make a note of it. All right. So resistance. You got some resistance here at about 83.7 and on up. And of course, that's just a horizontal going back left on the chart. You can see you had support, broke down, tried it as an area of resistance, got a big rejection off of that. You can see a lot of selling pressure came in that area of 83.7, and it drove it all the way down. All right, all the way down to 80K. So we could be trading in a very volatile range. Look at what's going on.
If you pull a fib from that point right before that big wick up down to the bottom, we just rejected perfectly on the 887 of the platinum pocket too. So no, not that point. The point. Yep, right there.
Okay, and all the way down.
Yep.
There you go. So
perfect platinum pocket rejection.
Man, he loves that thing. So look at this. Now we came right down to the 618 there. I know it's pulled in a different direction, but still, it's coming down to a technical level. And look, it's getting a little bounce in that area. So very interesting to, see that. Again, this is why we love technical analysis. Does it always work? No. But does it seem to work a lot? Yeah. So that's why we love it. And we're trying to put this in a statistical advantage for ourselves to, make some money. All right. So kind of going back to where I was, though, we're finding ourselves in a range, right? We are really actually developing a range here between, I'd say, about $80,000 and $83,000. So keep an eye on that, right? So we're consolidating here. And, now we're looking for a breakout, right? This is that time where we say, okay, what are we going to do here with price action? Which way are we headed? And I think this area specifically is going to tell you a lot. All right, because if it breaks to the upside, then we're looking at going back up to the quarterly pivot at about 86.6. It makes a lot of sense. So again, what do you look for there? You want to see that old OC retest, coined here at Piper Academy. But there you go. Comes up, boom, comes down, retest, and then we look for that upside movement. Okay, so where would your entry be? Your entry would be, let's find it now. Got to switch back over to it, of course. Here we go. Boom. So you would be looking for that right there. Okay, so again, you want to see some bullish structure. Don't just blindly enter a long position just because it comes down to this number or this zone here at about 83.7. That's, you want to see some bullish candles, right? So you may see a wick under, see a candle close, and then a bullish candle following. Typically you like to see something like a bullish engulfing or something along those lines to kind of give you a warm and fuzzy that we're headed in the right direction. So look for that. Look for the breakout there. Not saying it's going there, just what happens if it does, right? We prepare ourselves. We get ahead of it. You guys have probably already learned my method. I'm very patient. I like to let it come to me. And then once I get the setup I'm looking for, then I will look at potentially taking an entry. I'm not going to just blindly do it. So right now we're just kind of stuck in the middle, and I'm not going to get crazy with it. But what I was looking at a short here. I can't deny that, and we were talking about that. You can see a descending pressure or descending strength really with the RSI. Now this is all in the 5 minutes, so understand that it's a very short time frame. But in terms of a little bit larger time frame, and I'll try to keep this a little bit shorter. I'm not going to get too long-winded. Again, this is still in play. The 618 at around 73,000 and maybe a little bit lower. Coming down here and retesting this area makes a lot of sense for me. And there's multiple technicals that kind of line up in this area. I've cleaned it all up just so you guys can see the chart better. But really, it does make a lot of sense. We would flip this area of resistance into support. I do really, really believe you're going to get some price action here. If it does go down there, that may not be the end of it though. And I want you to understand that. And the reason is because there's liquidity. The bulk of the liquidity is sitting at 64,800 currently. All right. Now that can shift a little bit as price moves and as people adjust stop losses and things of that nature. Just understand that can move. And then coming down to Piper's Platinum Pocket, the 786, I think a wick out of that area makes a lot of sense. I think it'll be a quick move. There's a few things that are going to happen there, right? Weekends are going to get shook out, right? They'll sell off. There's an exchange of the asset from retail to institutions. So I think you'll see a very strong wick, quick move, and it'll probably reestablish itself very quickly back over the 618. Would be my guess. So I think you're gonna get a pretty gnarly wick if you do see something down there, and it's probably gonna look a lot like this, right? So very similar, where we came down, very aggressive down, and then it hit the liquidity, which was sitting at 50K. What happened? Very strong move, back up, reestablish the range, OC retest, and off and away. We did actually come back down to the 618 at some point, but in the interim, when it actually happens, this is the result of what we got. I expect to see something similar if the price action does go down there. So again, it's a matter of just being prepared and being ready if the price action does work its way down. So that's something I'm looking at right now. Obviously, all the resistance is to the top. I could give you like 3-4 different lines that says, hey, like resistance, 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 resistance. Trend is down. You'd be fighting the trend right now if you're taking long positions. We really do need a breakout. And I think this is key to reestablishing a new range over 83,700, 83,800. This will then tell us, hey, like we're breaking out of this range, ready to move up to the next one. And then we can start talking about breaking through some of this craziness that's up here with the dynamic reactor, the quarterly pivot, trend lines. There's just a lot here that scares me, to be honest with you. So, short play, I'll be looking for this probably from here to here. That's about a 3% move. I'll use a little bit of leverage to expedite the gains there. But other than that, that is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. I'll go ahead and pass it over to my homies.
Real fast, we had a question from Wick 589. He said, can you explain the OC retest? And since you're talking about a punch through there and you got your little retest, can you explain that for him?
Yeah, it's relatively simple, man. And this is why I love it. So we've seen it right here. Let's go ahead and bring this up on the 5 minute, because I think I took a play on that I did take a play on that yesterday. nice little win. I think it was about 300 bucks or so. So here you go. What I saw with price action, same thing. See this trend line? See how it's kind of riding the price action down? I'm not a big breakout trader, but when it aligns with different pieces of confluence, I'll say different indicators, fib retracements, different levels, right? Things start lining up for me. Look at the price action here, and let's actually take it down to the 3 minute. I know Alex likes this, right? He likes the 3 minute a little bit better. So look at what happened here with price action. It was riding down. We got a nice strong wick off a key level, 0.5 yearly pivot, right? Bullish wick. Then we came back down to retest this area right here, this trend line, right? We broke out, retested the trend line, and then price action started to go up. So what I waited for was this candle right here. So on the 5 minute, there's only 2 candles. On 3 minute, there's 3. But basically right here is what I waited for. All right, and let's actually go to the 5 minute just so you can see exactly what I was seeing, because I did take that trade based off the 5 minute. And of course, it just went haywire. This is awesome. There we go. All right, so coming back. There we go. And there you go. So you see strong bullish candle, right? Comes back for the retest. And then this is the confirmation I needed to get into the trade, right? Was this one right here. So I saw a nice push up, right? You see the wick on the bottom side of the body, right? That is showing you that there's buying pressure. This one showed you, even though it was a bearish candle, that there was willing buyers, because what happens is it pushes down, then the wick comes off of the trend line right here. You see that? So this was already showing you some momentum, came back down, right here. And then again, buying pressure came in. This indicates to me that there are willing buyers in this area. That made me feel comfortable about taking this trade and taking it up to this line right here, which is about 80,600. And all I did was go back left on the chart, all right? And I was just looking, where was there support or resistance? And this was a very clear area of support. You can see the breakdown, got over it, tried to hold it, and then broke down again. So I was pretty confident that we would come up and at least retest that area, break down, came to the 618 and off and away it went. What are we looking for up here? Very similar, very similar. Okay, so again, what I think might play out up here is price action will go up, right? Come into this area, and then it'll come down, retest. Now, it doesn't always happen. So understand that when I say I'm looking for an OC retest, that is a very conservative play that I'm looking for. But a lot of times what will happen is you may get retests or multiple retests of this area. And what happens is some liquidity builds up. You get these wicks down. It's kind of like a little, I won't say a scam wick, but a little wick down to clear out that liquidity that builds up and then reestablishes the range. All right. So you may see something where it comes up, right? And you'll have a candle or a wick come down to clear out the liquidity. And this may be after multiple retests, just so you know. So liquidity may be here. And then it takes that liquidity, reestablishes into the range, right? So then you get a candle that closes over top. That right there is your first indicator, like, okay, this might be game on. And then you may get a subsequent candle that looks more like that. And again, it could show you. Now, I would prefer a bullish engulfing, but something like this where it's showing you, hey, like we are clearly getting willing buyers to come in, then that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about taking a position and thinking that, you know, there's upside potential with a move. So there you go. It's kind of what I'm looking for.
Awesome. Yep. That OC retest is named that because OC talks about it all the time. He loves trading on the retest. So that's why that is there. And then DB Cooper said, if you're entering trades based on the 4-hour time frame, what higher level time frames do you use for multi-time frame analysis? If I'm trading, me personally, if I'm trading on the 4-hour, I'm looking at the daily and the 12-hour. So that's going to give me like the 12-hour and daily. It's going to give me that little bigger picture there. But I'll also look down at the 1 hour if I'm trading on the 4-hour to get my precise entry and my take profit exits. So answer to that question. So interesting, something that I'm seeing on the charts right now. And the reason that I'm thinking that we do make a trip up to about $87,000, maybe $88,000 is because of this here. And it has to do with the CME gap. You know, we closed our CME gap that was below us here, which happened to be right on top of the 200-day on futures, 300-day moving average on the spot exchange. So looking at the futures, it doesn't have weekend data, it doesn't have evening data sometimes, and so typically your smooth average is not going to be the same as what it is on 24/7 365. So what I'm seeing here is we have a CME gap that we closed here on Friday, March 7th, that's still sitting above us, and it is coinciding right here beautifully with the oscillator, with the dynamic reactor here from ChartPrime. So that level is coming in right now about 87,000. I do think we might get a little wick above that just to grab some of the liquidity in there, but I am watching that level. I do think we get a move up to that maybe this weekend. So I just wanted to touch on that one real fast. OC, let's kick it over to you. What are you looking at today? What you got your eyes on, OC?
I got it on Bitcoin right now. So, oh, look at that. Seems like I have another background there to remove. There we go. Perfect. So I don't know how I missed it. So basically, this is a Bitcoin 1 minute. I've been trading this. In fact, I'm going to be showing you what I did today in the morning. Right on spot, TradeFly was calling the top right here in this candle. And then Piper was saying, you know what, wait for a second. Now it should be my time, but it's already gone. So they did not take the trade. Well, too bad, because I took it on this next candle. I ride it all the way down here. And when I start seeing that we pull back, I close it and open up a long position. Yeah. And then the long position, I was not riding here. It was at the candle closer, somewhere around this area, maybe even the third candle. I don't quite remember, but it was a very, very small shorty here, and it's not even half a percentage. So I did almost nothing. I did like I did like I don't know, between 10 and 15 bucks, something like that. Not much. Also was not a full position because we were breaking below the dynamic reactor. Let me just control C this and let me show you what I'm thinking now. Look at how we have a trend line coming down. Look at that, how we created a higher low. Well, guess what could we be creating right now? A higher high. Don't be fooled by this higher low and higher high, because this, if we invert this, well, let's do that exercise. It is, where is it? Where do I, there it is. If we invert this, we could be looking at a bullish flag. Oh, this should be my entry. Let me see if I, oh, almost there, almost there. It's not taking it. All right, whatever. Let's just leave it. Man. Almost there. All right. So, by the way, my entry 83,166.2 for the next short, and that is because we're forming a bull flag. If we invert it back, well, then that is where we should be kind of like going through. Something important is that we are almost there with the flip of the ribbon. We don't have confirmation just yet, but since we are in the 1 minute, I want to front run this oscillator to catch the early flip of the ribbon instead of the late confirmation. I mean, late confirmation wouldn't be that bad, but I'm trying to maximize. There we go, entry. Right now, guys, give me 1 second. I need to set up my stop loss live, 83,375. 83,375. And all right, perfect. I already have my stop loss set, and we'll see if we can make it or we're going to be getting stopped out. So at this point, let me just clear this up right now, and let me start bringing up my indicators. Something that could be at this point praying against me, it is the trend line here, and then we are going above the money flow POC. Why is that? Because we could be having a little bit of a retracement here, confirming the higher low, and then going to then create a dead cat bounce and then reverse. That's why we have a stop loss at that point. So remember, we don't know for sure what's going to happen, but we can have a very clear idea of what could be happening. By the way, we just ended up having to removing a order block that was right here, so it took it with it. So what is the next place to bounce? All the way here at 83,375. That's why my stop loss, it is basically right there, 375. I need to give myself a little bit of slack, so giving myself a little bit of slack right now, and my stop loss, it is at 83,417. We'll see if we can fight it back and then reverse it back. I'm going to be taking TP number 1, TP number 2, and moving my stop to entry. All right, almost stopped out. We'll see how that plays out, but we're almost right there trying to flip around it. So we need to be a little bit patient with this. We'll see how that plays out. But again, we need to, the next step will be holding the zero line to change of perspective from bearish to bullish in continuation. So let me clear this up and then just give you guys a little bit of a setup here. If we are able to break through here, reverse, going for the retest. Remember, it's not about the breakout, it's about your retest, and then off we go to the next level. So other than that, if you're looking for short-term entries, it is right here. Guys, let me give you a little bit of a experience that it's been playing out with me. I am a 4-hour trader, right? Something that has been happening to me in the 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes. It is that I'm too slow taking the trades and too slow getting out of them. Why? Usually I have up to 4 hours to take a decision and also look at where my point is, going to visit something else, take a look at something else in the charts, you know, like kind of like a thinking it twice before taking that confirmation and then deciding it whether I should be just waiting for the candle close or taking the risk that way. But in a minute, I only have less than a minute to actually take that trade. All right. So right now I am on the 3 minutes on my bluffing account. So by the way, if you don't have bluffing, links, it should be in the description. And at that point, look at what we're having. We are having a big rejection candle out of a resistance here, something like that. So hopefully we are making, there we go. We have almost a confirmation candle going back to dynamic reactor. Remember TP1 dynamic reactor, and then TP2 somewhere around 82,300. All right, live trading is not for me. This is too much stress. So passing it over to you guys, and I'll just take my profits and run.
Awesome. So yeah, we're talking about a lot of levels on Bitcoin, but according to some analysts, there's some key levels that need to be hit on Bitcoin in order to confirm higher movements in the market. So let's go take a look at that article and see what they're saying here. This was the title for today's show. Bitcoin needs a weekly close above this level to confirm market bottom, according to analysts. Let's go see what they're saying here. In an X post published yesterday, crypto analyst Matthew Hyland highlighted that according to the weekly time frame chart, Bitcoin is likely to test the support level between $69,000 to $74,000 in the coming months. Is the Bitcoin bottom in? Hyland noted that Bitcoin's weekly resistance level currently hovers around $90,500. Analysts emphasize that Bitcoin has a weekly close, that if it has a weekly close above $89,000, then it may indicate that the market bottom is in. Of course, keep in mind, he did say a weekly close, which would be Sundays. That's when we get our weekly close, Sunday evenings, guys. If we do get a weekly close above this area, $89,000 to $91,000, I think the low is in for the Bitcoin, and we are not going down to this area. To recall, Bitcoin last traded above $89,000 earlier this month, March 9th. It's been so long ago, a massive 5 days ago. The cryptocurrency experienced a breakdown to lower price levels, primarily due to rising macroeconomic uncertainties due to U.S. President Donald Trump's trade tariffs on numerous countries. So that level that they're watching, guys, $89,000 to $91,000. Once it fell to defend that last time, we did get a fall down as low as 76,606. And so it's facing strong resistance. That resistance level, 86,100. We've shown a lot of these levels, and that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on. I do want to show you guys here. One thing that I am watching on the charts is going to be over here, and this is giving me a little bit of a pause for why I think that we could go down. It makes me hold up. We might get some up action here. And if I put this on the weekly, we're going to put our ChartPrime Oscillator Pro. And I do this a lot on the monthly. This is how I catch market bottoms at the bottom of the bear cycles. So like 2022, so on and so forth. My average entry on Bitcoin was 21,420. It was because of this indicator here. But if I put this on the MVP oscillator on the weekly, we have a bright green candle that is fired. The last time we had this happened back in July of 2024. It's down here at this bottom. We did have one more push up and then one more liquidity grab below that before we pumped. And then if we go back and look before that, I think it's going to be, where are you in here? Maybe there wasn't another one. No, we don't have another one back on this chart. Let me put this on the index and see what we have there. Yeah, back here in December 19th, which was here, one more liquidity grab came down and grabbed it. That was COVID-19, and then it goes up. So it's been a while since we've seen the pullback we had here. Another perfect example. Had a pullback here of 30% back here in 2021, gave us the green candles. We get them here again, coming in as the bottom is coming in the summer of 2021. Guys, we're starting to get these. Now, keep in mind, summer 2021, we did come in and set some lower lows in here, okay? Not saying that the bottom is completely in because it's printed on the weekly, but when we look at this on the weekly, we do have candle number one of the MVP oscillator. So we could come in and set these lower lows, but this is giving indication of midterm bottoms are starting to print. So there is one reason for a little bit of hopium for you guys. But again, as that article said, we do need to get that price level on a weekly close above that $89,000 level. Ironically enough, that would be putting us here. Let's see. That would be putting us above the 100, right in line with the 100-day. I personally think that even if we get a candle close above that 91,000, we need to break the 100-day simple moving average in order for me to go full bull again. Until then, I remain cautiously optimistic, but bearish nonetheless. So let's kick it back over to the gang here. Guys, what do you think? Weekly MVP oscillator. It's pretty darn good. We're starting to get some bright green candles on there, but we do see that it can continue to do some grind down and continue to print those. One of those will be the last of the MVP green candles there before we bounce again. Your thoughts, TradeFly? Your thoughts, OC? I'll go with TradeFly first, and we'll come back to OC.
Yeah, man. No, I like the MVP oscillator. You know, when I first joined the show, that was actually one of the main oscillators I was using because I liked it on the higher time frames, the weekly, the daily. It is pretty good. It works pretty well. And yes, it is. It's basically giving you a heads up that we are setting ourselves up for a potential reversal, right? Like, you know, I mean, it's kind of lagging, but it almost, because it seems like there's sometimes a continuation in the trend before it actually reverses. It's almost like a leading indicator.
It is.
Right? Like it's kind of awesome. So it's something for you guys to really pay attention to. Definitely just put it into your scan every once in a while, maybe once a week. Bring up the MVP oscillator, take a look at it, and, you know, just see what it's saying. And does it line up with key levels that you're looking at already? In this case, it does, right? We were looking at, hey, there was a CME gap. We're looking at the top part of the previous range. It didn't go all the way down there, you know, but it got pretty close, right? It got pretty close to actually reaching that level. And now the MVP oscillator is saying, hey, look, we're doing a similar thing as we did to the last range. We pulled back 30-some% in the last range. We've pulled back about 28% in this range. Time frame is very similar. The oscillator, obviously, it's gonna move kind of in cycles, and it's following a very similar cycle. So yeah, man, it's something to definitely keep.
I'm not taking it off the table. I am not taking it off the table as a possibility at all. So yeah, OC, you've been with ChartPrime since before they were ChartPrime. Your thoughts on this MVP oscillator weekly fire in a green candle, man? If anyone has seen everything that ChartPrime can do, it's you. Your thoughts? So should we be bullish about a green candle on MVP oscillator weekly?
I do think so. I mean, being bullish on a candle, it is pretty stoked, but also we need to understand that this is not going to be defining the whole movement, right? So I think that this is a start. We cannot just look at one single indicator, but I know we're talking about also macros. So a weekly close in the green usually leads to a secondary green candle. Usually, right? But yeah, so this could be a good run up, but also could be a fake out. So I'm pretty much bullish by sentiment, but bearish by trend, right? So I cannot deny that this excites me, but I know I am a very sentimental trader. So my logical part is telling me, hey, wait for that confirmation, wait for also lower time frames, structured formation, right? That gets you at least a higher high, and then higher low, and then a higher high, because we could also be creating a dead cat bounce like we did in the previous cycle. And this green candle may be coming to secondary or into another green candle before we create another red candle. So what I'm trying to say here, it is absolutely a great indication, right? This is a very bullish indication that we're gonna keep moving upwards. If you ask me, my opinion, let me be clear that this is my opinion. I am very in line with that. We should be having another very nice run up to the upside, even taking previous highs before we start flattening out. And why is that? Last cycle was different, and I think we should be having another 2021 alike cycle, right? Before we start again shifting and changing shapes on the crypto structure. So, but having said that, I'm pretty excited, to be honest. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I honestly think that we could get all the way, we could get that green candle, a couple more weeks of it, maybe a month of it, right? Of more green candles there, giving us that bottom line. And then, but at that same time, we're still coming in and wicking lower and lower, getting down to that $67,000 to $70,000 range that everyone keeps talking about. But at the same time, it gives us a pump rally that does not necessarily create a new high. Just becomes on the higher time frames a lower high, right? And so that is very possible too. But I do think that anyone who is looking at this market right now, going, "Dang it, I wish I would have got out," at 108, 109, 102 even. This might give you some opportunities to take some of that profit off the table, and be ready for, because nothing's changed macroeconomically. I keep banging that drum. Macro wise, the economy has not changed. We're still going to see negative GDP. We're still going to see tariff scares. All kinds of things that are going to cause job numbers. I think job numbers are going to be absolutely wrecked in the next quarter. So we still have those things to deal with, right? So, but if you're looking for that opportunity to take some of your profits off the table, that might be the point that you want to do it at. So is when we get that big rally there. We got time to check out like one or two altcoins before we head out of here. TradeFly, you got any alts that you're looking at right now? I know you were talking last night about XRP looking strong as hell. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah. So I do have XRP up, and I've dropped it in our trading group, and I also mentioned it on the show last night. And the reason I'm liking XRP right now is just it's held up. All right. So you can see right here, this is actually, I was layering into XRP. I layer it in here at the point of control, layer it in here at the fib, the 0.382. So it's very much the approach I like to take. So what does that mean for me as I layer in? Start here at about just under 250, get here, layer in. So what does that mean? In between there, right? That's where I become, either even or profitable. Right now, I'm profitable. Okay, so now we're approaching the point of control here. But let's go kind of back to why I like this. Look at it, right? We're zoomed out. We're on the daily. Look at it and observe, and think about a lot of the other altcoins. Think about Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin was not even able to hold this range. Bitcoin is down here, right? It's singing down here, right? A lot of the altcoins have actually fell down to a second level, right? That's where a ton of altcoins are sitting right now. All right. So, that's, I think, opportunity is probably there if you want to layer into some positions with altcoins. I'm not saying the pain is over, but at the same time, like, are you mad about lowering your cost basis? If you bought up here when the hype was real and the hype was crazy for a lot of the altcoins, why not lower your entry here? And then now your break even is somewhere in the middle. It's something for you guys to think about. It's kind of the approach I'm taking right now with the uneasy market. The market's kind of pulling back, right? I'm not full bagging anything. I'm not getting crazy with it. I'm just saying, hey, like, if it continues to pull back, that's fine. I'll just keep lowering my entry, right? It's a DCA approach. But XRP, I mean, you can see it's held up. It's held its range. It looks good. You found a key level, and this is the 0.382 of the range from bottom to top. And then, it's a nice horizontal as well. You got the dynamic reactor. There's a lot of things that are lining up. You even had the value area low that really has actually, held up as well. It did fall out, and maybe one candle close underneath of it, and then maybe two. And then here it is again. So it's right back into the range. And so there's actually something that I'm going to bring up here. And I feel bullish about XRP. So I'll get that out of the way here. If Bitcoin turns around, if the crypto market turns around, what does that mean for XRP? I mean, you're revisiting all-time highs. There's no real doubt in my mind that it's going to keep going up. And there's a catalyst, right? There's always catalysts behind why some tokens buck the trend. And I look for this all the time. Like, okay, if I see everything trending down, but then I see like a major player, a large cap token that is like keeping its range and it's not moving with everything else, and I'm like, why is this, right? And one of those things is, I think this, right? Ripple actually got a license in the UAE, right, to be payment. So let's read this here real quick. Ripple secured a regulatory approval from the Dubai Financial Services Authority to offer regulated crypto payments and services within the Dubai International Finance Center. Announced on March 13th, yada, yada, yada. This authorization makes Ripple the first blockchain-enabled payments provider to obtain a license from the DFSA. That's really bullish. That is really, really bullish for Ripple, or for Ripple. So just know that like news will have an effect on price action, and I do believe that's part of it. I do believe, sorry about that, I am all over the place now. Got to go back to my XRP. I think that's why we're kind of holding up, and I think they're looking for something similar here, would be my guess in the US. I've heard rumblings that there is talk of that in the US as well. So we will see what comes from it. We know, I mean, the trading commission and the cryptocurrency, narrative is alive and strong right now in the US. So keep your eye on XRP. That's what I'll say to you guys. I am bullish.
Awesome. Yeah, XRP, man, definitely a mover here. OC, you got time for one quick altcoin? What are you watching right now, man? Is it FETH time, or what are you looking at?
No, it was a trade given yesterday. Right here in the Piper Academy, we gave this trade yesterday. Remember GTO on the 4 hours. I know it's a little bit of a mess, but remember that I was also telling you that we were ranging at these areas, and what happened when we range and we don't fall? Well, we have a quadruple bullish divergence. We were breaking through that zero line. Well, then we were waiting also for a possible retracement. I mean, maybe not all the way down here, with half of an entry taking TP number 1 somewhere around 230, 233. Oh, come on, do not move on me. And then the next at 268. So far we are in profits. So guys, if you took that trade with us yesterday on the Piper Academy, now it's time for you to start moving your stop to entry. All right, so do this. And then also make sure that you move your stop loss slightly above your entry so you can compensate for whatever fees your exchange is charging you. That way, if for some reason this reverses on you, well, then you're going to get stopped at profits. All right, so that way you're not even breaking even, you're breaking in profits slightly with a couple of cents. I mean, I'd rather have $1 in my pocket than have negative $1 on my pocket. So other than that, JTL playing very nicely at this point. We're at a make or break area at the top of the range. We need to be very careful because we could be having a flip of the ribbon and also a consolidation score dropping back to something like 6 or 7. So be careful on that one, guys. There is a secondary chance that we could be jumping back in if you get stopped out and we go back to this area and we are flipping above the zero line. This is going to be your re-entry point in here, right? So I will be looking for a re-entry point if we flip down here, and then having a better entry for the next movement to the upside. And again, we're going to be fixing our TP number 1. If this happens, well, then our TP number 1 is going to be at 226. Sorry, 224. Other than that, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. We appreciate everyone joining us here today on the Piper Academy. TradeFly he's back at his channel, guys. So brand grown, moving on his own. And so, guys, if you haven't done so yet, and I'm sure Alexandra G is going to drop this link down in the chat right now for me because she's that awesome. But guys, go check out TradeFly's channel. It's TradeFly. It's at TradeFly. So there you go, guys. Go subscribe over there. I'm already subscribed. I even get oh wait, nope. Now I get all notifications. I was on personalized, not sure why, but guys, go subscribe to TradeFly's channel. Check him out. Next Monday, we're going to have Darren Does Things joining us here on the channel. DDT in the house next Monday for the morning market report. So looking forward to that. And OC, appreciate you every day being here, man. Like clockwork, like like a reliable sun that just every day the sun's going to come out. I know OC's going to be here for me, man. I appreciate you. TradeFly, what do you got for the people on the way out today, man?
Hey, as always, it's good being here. Love mixing up with you guys. Thank you for letting me on your show, and OC show. But no, seriously, love you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone that was in the chat. Much love to you guys. It's all the same faces. You know, you guys are all fam to us. So it's good seeing you every day. And I hope you guys have a great day. Trade safe, be safe, and I will hand it over to my guy.
Appreciate it, brother. All right, guys, we're going to be back here next Monday, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, breaking down the charts and everything that you guys need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. We're about to head over. I looked and saw Crypto Blood has not got a live setup today, so we are going to go over and head to Dano Crypto today. Make sure when you get over there, drop those graduation caps. Remember, it's the weekend, guys. Low volume, really easy to pump and dump the markets. You guys be safe. If you're going to trade, use some risk management. We'll catch you guys Monday morning. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive through. Powered by ChartPrime, then you were part of that alumni that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. Sound off to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude!